Doge is a threat to the bureaucracy. It's the first threat to the bureaucracy. People instead of power to the bureaucracy.
Do your job! 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 Do your job!
This is adults. This is the way that we can get to medicated.
Yes, these crazy Libras can't even stop this. During the WWE in Toronto, they started singing the US national anthem, and guess what? They started booing again. I don't know if you've seen this. Take a look at this. Yes, this is the fourth time I'm seeing Canada doing this. I don't know why they continue to do this. I did the video the other day where this lady actually explained why some people don't understand what is going on. Trump wants Canada to protect its borders. That is all. That is nothing much Trump wants from Canada. Bringing in this issue of tariffs and others is something that some should even appreciate. Now going into this issue of Zelensky, the other day, this lady had this to say. I was impressed watching the video to a certain level.
You people don't get it. You people seriously don't get it. All of you who are mad at President Trump for yesterday and with about, look how he treated Volodymyr Zelensky. You are the people who watched MSNBC, CNN, and didn't vote for President Trump. Now, myself, a black Trump supporter, this is exactly what I voted for. Oh, Lord, this is what I voted for. To see somebody tell that pot-bellied dictator, Volodymyr Zelensky, you ain't getting no more money. You don't run the United States. We're the United States of America. Without us, you don't make it. This is what we have been demanding. So you go on and talk about some MSNBC and CNN viewers. They didn't vote for him. They voted to put him in jail. People like myself, people who watch Fox, people who watch Joe Rogan, Hodge Twins, podcasts, we voted for this. That's why you see us happy and the people who voted against Donald Trump mad. Stay mad. But remember, make sure you have those 5 things you did. Elon's coming. Elon's coming. Elon's coming.
Holy Toledo. Look at this trend line here. U.S. support for Ukraine is too much. Back when the war began, back in February of 2022, it was just 7%. Up like a rocket ship. My goodness. Up now in February of 2025 to 41%. And the clear majority of Republicans, and of course Republicans are in charge of the U.S. government now, 62% of Republicans say that the U.S. support for Ukraine is too much. What a difference from just 3 years ago. I can remember, John, all those backyards in the United States with those Ukrainian flags. Far fewer of them today, as Americans' opinions on Ukraine have changed dramatically.
What about opinions of the Ukrainian president?
Right. You know, obviously, if you would expect changes amongst the public on feelings towards Ukraine, feelings towards Zelensky have changed also dramatically. Look at this. Confident Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs. Back in 2022, it was the clear majority, 72% through the floor. Through the floor by 2024, just 48% of Americans say that they're confident that Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs. And GOP confidence has also plummeted dramatically. Now the clear majority of Republicans are not confident that Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs. Really a real trend line, ones you rarely see in the American public when it comes to Ukraine and Zelensky. Confidence in both going down through the ground.
Look, some allies of President Trump have targeted Zelensky with harsh criticism over the last few years, and it could be that that's having some impact here.
Absolutely. The Republican establishment, the Republican electorate has moved as the Republican establishment and Republican leaders have moved on.
All right, let's talk about the idea of a peace deal. And again, the way you ask this matters, but go ahead.
The way you ask it is important, so we can talk about this a little bit. So the poll question essentially is, do you support a Russia-Ukraine negotiated peace deal? The vast majority of Americans, this is what they want. 78% say that they support this idea versus just 16% oppose. Of course, as we were talking about, does this question actually get at what's going on right now? I think you would say that it probably does not necessarily get what's going at right now.
No, the question asked, do you support a Russia-Ukraine negotiated peace deal? Ukraine's not there at the negotiations in Saudi Arabia this week, so the people were not asked this. And I do think, in general, if you ask anyone in any poll, do you support peace, peace tends to rate pretty highly.
Peace tends to win. You rarely get 78% of the country agreeing on anything. They do agree on the idea of a negotiated peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Whether the majority would agree on a Russia peace deal with Ukraine where Ukraine has nothing to do with it, that might be a different question.
Hard to know. Harry, and thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
That is it. This video was shared by Elon Musk. I saw it on X, shared by him. What I realized is that Zelensky, one power, money reason, he's advocating that they should continue pretending like he wants peace. Trump wants peace, nothing more. That is a summary of what I've observed within the space of 3 days. When I look at him in the UK promising him more money, and this money is not for free. UK gave him $2 billion, promised more, and maybe some security guarantee. In the name of gifts, they concluded by saying, okay, you will repay this debt by taking Russian asset. That's how UK want to repay back the money given to Zelensky. It is the same deal Trump wanted to sign. How are you going to pay us back? Zelensky came with another mafia.
Email that came out wanting us to justify our jobs with 5 things we did last week was on Saturday night. And I was literally working on Saturday night to make up for all the distractions I had the previous week, which came from the executive branch. And so I'm working, trying to catch up on things, and then I get that email on top of it. It's very hard to keep your train of thought when you're getting threatened and harassed like that.
I support the Defense Department, and the jobs that we do are so stressful, and to have this on top of it, I mean, I know that that's their goal, is to make it miserable.
And don't forget about my colleagues that are overseas, and they don't even know how they're getting home, and they're just being terminated.
I feel like what they're doing is sending out these text messages, you know, saying, oh my God, we've got to do X because this is happening. I'm retired. I can't throw money unless I know what the money's going to be used for.
If you ask me.
Yeah, well, you can tell me better than anybody.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
Right, explain that.
Oh, so, well, people pay into Social Security, and the money goes out of Social Security immediately, but the obligation for Social Security is your entire retirement career. So you're paying with you're paying like if you look at the future obligations of Social Security, it far exceeds the tax revenue. Far. Have you ever looked at the debt clock?
Yes.
Okay. There's our present day debt, but then there's our future obligations. So when you look at the future obligations of Social Security, the actual national debt is like double what people think it is. because of the future obligations. So basically, people are living way longer than expected. And there are fewer babies being born. So you have more people who are retired and that live for a long time and get retirement payments. So the future obligations. So however bad the financial situation is right now for the federal government, it will be much worse in the future.
Yes. When you take a look at what Elon Musk is doing here, he made it clear that whatever his life is at stake, but he can't stop. All this booing everywhere, it is because of things like this. And I'm glad that the man stand by his word. He's not afraid. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. I see a lot of people in the comment sections trying to complain how I speak. I don't know. I think I've improved. If you watch me 3 years back, this is not how I do it. Today has changed. So every day I keep learning and struggling to improve. If you are hearing what I'm saying, please drop on the comment section. Let me see if you watch the video to this end. If you see clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
I don't know if he needs an apology. But wow.
I know. I'm going to get killed on social media for admitting that, but so be it. And the fact is that it doesn't matter whether Vice President Vance planned it or just took the opportunity to bait Zelensky. Zelensky took the bait. Okay.
Yeah.
And
what happened at the White House today?
Today, Donald Trump irreparably destroyed the 80-year-old post-World War II international order.
An Oval Office ambush of an American ally that will reverberate all around the world and stain America's image for years to come.
That was, to say the least, the most contentious confrontation between world leaders perhaps we have ever seen, certainly on television.
It was a truly historic moment, not in the good way. One that I fear realigned the world order, upending the only foreign policy consensus that most living Americans and Europeans have ever known.
A complete and utter mess. We don't gain anything by acting like bullies. And this is what bullies do.
I think there's no question that this was a setup. You heard Donald Trump say at the end of that clip you played, this is great television.
To issue an apology tonight?
Absolutely.
All right, so, but what else is going on? Not much. A World War III news, we're on the other side now. I don't know if you've heard that. Zelensky was in the Oval Office to discuss the big turnaround that the country has done, where Trump says now he's the dictator.
Statement for sure to say that it is one of the most astonishing moments that we have ever seen happen.
Particularly appalling spectacle.
Diplomacy is not